Yes, people, welcome back. And we are back. It was only an hour. See, you can all manage an hour's break and then we're live again, back with the Tone Show. Do you like that, Tone? The Tone Show.
I'm flattered, mate. It's your show. I'm the guest. But yeah, thank you. Yeah, it has a nice ring to it.
Well, I was just speaking in my last stream and I was like, I'm on with Tone. It's the Tone Show. And I was like, oh, I like that. It's going to be called the Tone Show. So, guys, make sure you smash a like on the stream if you're enjoying these. If you're enjoying these streams, make sure you are subscribed to the channel as well. Make sure you're following Tone on Twitter at MCFC Tone. And of course, guys, come on, man. Let's get those likes up. Tone, I've had my say this morning on the whole Klopp situation, but there is only one place to start. We are going to cover the Man City Spurs game later in the show, guys, so bear with us on that. But Tone, your thoughts this morning. Breaking news. Jurgen Klopp has announced at the end of the season he will leave Liverpool.
Well, when I first saw it, it was actually City Extra's tweet, and I thought it was a joke. And I thought, oh, where's the little, the first thing you look for is where's the tick?
Yeah.
And there was a tick. And I thought, well, that's interesting. No, it can't be right. So I clicked on the account. They've got million followers or whatever. I thought, shit, it's bloody true. And then they're seeing all this stuff come in about Pep ending him and all this sort of stuff within 2 or 3 minutes of the announcement. Cracked me up. But my immediate reaction was shock. I did not see him going. And then he's been a pain against Pep over the years, as we've known. So it's good in that sense. So overall, yeah, I'm in one way, I'm happy that he's going out the league because he's a top manager and he is a headache for City. There's no doubt about that. And he's a headache for Pep, or has been, although Pep's dominated in terms of league titles and so on. But it's good in a way that he's out of the way, I think.
How do you think this is going to impact Liverpool for the rest of the season? Because I know people are having different opinions on this one. Personally, I think this is going to make them more dangerous in the Premier League. Of course, I'm thankful that they're not in the Champions League this season. But are you with me on that? Or there's some people who think that actually it might have the opposite effect, and maybe like when we've seen when Pellegrini was announced that he was leaving and Pep was coming in, we sort of stumbled towards the top four. And in fact, people love to say, oh, Pep inherited a team that was already great. That team stumbled in the top four, by the way, that year. If you actually look at it, I'm pretty sure we got it on goal difference. So your thoughts on, do you think Liverpool will kick on now and be even more difficult to beat? Or do you think they could have a bit of a fall?
I hope a fall. I agree with you. I think it will spur them on to end in style. And Klopp's the sort of manager that will galvanise them and say, come on, how long have we been together? Let's go and bloody end it in style. So I think it will spur them on. Whether that'll be enough to top us, I don't know. But yeah, I think it will. But history tells us it doesn't. From a few examples I've seen, they may well switch off. But I don't know. They've got a good team and a good manager, and they've started well. So I think they'll keep going. But it'll be more interesting. Excuse me. As I was saying with Liverpool the other day, how they'll get on when the Europa cranks up, because right now they have the nice break and they can play the B team and walk through the early stages. But yeah, I'm interested to see how Liverpool get on, and now with the Klopp talk as well, be very interesting, I think.
Yeah, I made a prediction. It wouldn't surprise me now, Tone, if they won every single game at home until the end of the season.
I would not want to be playing them at Anfield. I don't anyway, because we're a bloody pain there. But definitely not next. Is it Arsenal that go there next in the Premier League?
Chelsea. Chelsea. They play Arsenal away.
They do play Arsenal away, yeah. Oh, Chelsea, is it? Oh dear. Yeah.
I think they could batter Chelsea. I think that could be a big score. However, to be fair, they've not got Trent, they've not got Salah, so it might be more difficult. But I've said for a while that if they win the next 2 games, if I was a Liverpool fan, I'd start to get my chest out a little bit more. I still think City would be favourites, providing we win our games against Burnley and Brentford. But if they win the next 2 games, I think they'll be a lot more confident. And it will be interesting to see how this news impacts the team, because, we've seen in the past teams take bad news and use it for their own good. I mean, the perfect example was Man City last year with the 1-1-5. Everton, whilst they lost the first game against Man United, they then won 4 or 5 games on the bounce after their charges earlier this season. So I don't know. I'm just kind of glad that they're not in the Champions League, because that would be more difficult as well. But I also think, I spoke about this in this morning stream, it wouldn't surprise me now if Salah ended up leaving in the summer as well, Tom, because of course there was rumours about him going last year, bids were made, bids were rejected. But do you think he might look at this now and go, maybe, I think he's like 32, 33, he might just look at this going, you know what, he's gone, it's my turn to go as well, it's my time to go as well. Like, if he goes as well, that could be seriously detrimental to them.
Yeah, massive. It's huge. Salah's their best player. I suspect he will go. There's been talk about it, and Saudi clubs are clearly interested. And I think maybe the Liverpool owners have kept Klopp happy, which he deserves for the job he's done there, to say, no, we're keeping Salah no matter what. But now Klopp's going, like you say, there may be a bit of leniency, and the Liverpool owners may think, do you know what? Now's not a bad time to cash in. If they get £150 million offer for Salah, you'd be stupid to not at least consider it at his age, I mean, and rebuild from there.
Yeah, big up Pardo Oaks here in the chat says apparently the sporting director has gone as well. Now, I did see this morning that his whole coaching staff has announced that they're leaving, which is, I find that a little strange, Tone, because, you know, he said he's tired. He said he's not got the energy for it anymore, which is understandable. But do you think that's a little bit strange that his whole coaching staff are going as well? Or do you think do you think that's normal? Because there's a lot of Liverpool fans, I've seen on Twitter before, a lot of Liverpool fans I believe that there's something else going on here. Like, why are all the staff, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's a good point. Unless he's got something planned, which I presume he hasn't. He may have a year out, but yeah, it does seem strange that they would all walk if they are. Because I saw a couple of bits on that, and I guess it's accurate, but I don't know. But if it is accurate, it's very, very bizarre, very strange. Because you'd think the assistant of Klopp, I don't know who it is, may fancy the job full time.
Linders is.
Oh yeah, is he still there? Is he? Yeah. So he might have.
Well, he is until the end of the season, and then it's gone.
Yeah. So I'm very surprised if they've all gone or going. Yeah, it does seem a bit strange, but I think Klopp will probably. I expect they'll take a break. Like Pep did after Barcelona. I could see that.
Yeah, certainly interesting. LB1998 with the super chat here says Liverpool players knew in November he was leaving. Apparently, so yeah, I seen that. Yeah, apparently he told the club in the summer. But maybe he was thinking about it, and then he obviously made his mind at the start of the season, and then in November he told the players, and you know, fair dues that it's not been leaked, man, because like I'm pretty shocked that this is coming out like off the rip, like, because there's literally, I don't know about you, I've not seen any rumors of this at all. There's been nothing that I've seen on social media. And you know what Twitter's like? If anything's going on, social media knows about it, so they've done quite well to keep it steady.
They've done a blinding job. If that is true that they knew in November, that's remarkable. That's not come out, because all it takes is a family friend to say something to a friend, and then they've disappeared down the Echo or wherever to go and mention it to someone. If that is right, that's crazy, but maybe shows the respect that they've got for him, that he clearly would have said, keep your mouth shut, and they have. But I'm still sort of stunned by it. If they were 5th, 6th like they were last season, I think they were hovering around 5th, 6th, 7th for a bit. Andy said, I've had enough. I probably wouldn't be that surprised, but they're top. They're in the Europa still. In fact, I think they're in all the competitions still. So it is a weird one, but even in his interview, he looked a bit burnt out, and that's what he alluded to.
He definitely does. I mean, if you look at the fixtures here in November, so this is apparently when he told the players. So they won the first. This is on the 1st of November. We don't know the exact date, obviously, but he won that game. Then they drew against Luton. They got beat off Toulouse. They beat Brentford. They drew against City, and then they won last. So in the month that he told them, they won 3 out of 6 games.
Wow.
So maybe it did have a short term.
Yes, good shout.
A short term impact on them. But listen, I personally believe that they will have a short-term boost this season. Of course, I believe that next year and years going forward, they'll be slightly weaker without Klopp. I think that's a fair comment to make, given how good Klopp is as a manager, especially if they lose Salah as well. But I think this season, I personally think that they're going to be now even more difficult to beat in the Premier League, which is why I'm glad they're not in the Champions League. So, it's insane. What would your some people are asking about who do you think could take over? Xabi Alonso is current favourite, 1-2 to take over. De Zerbi is next at 6-1, so quite a difference in odds there. I mean, so it's looking like Xabi Alonso. Apparently, they're saying that he wants to take the Liverpool job as well.
Yeah,
thoughts on that?
Yeah, Alonso, he's the clear favourite apparently, and he's got links for Liverpool. He's doing brilliant at Leverkusen. So, yeah, the only reason he may not is if Bayern, or not if, when Bayern get rid of Tuchel, because he's going shortly, I suspect. Maybe he'll be tempted with that job, and there'll be competition. But he's got the links with Liverpool anyway, and I think he'll be there. I'd be surprised if he's not. I don't think it'll be De Zerbi.
Yeah, I agree. I think it probably will be Xabi Alonso. But if he wins the league and they're in the Champions League, because of course they're not in the Champions League this year, then maybe he might start and just think, no, I want to stay at Leverkusen. Who knows? But listen, it's going to be a seriously interesting one. Anything else you want to speak on, Tone, on Klopp before we move our attention to the City Spurs game tonight? Or by the way, anyone in the chat got any questions about the Klopp situation for us to address before we move on to the Spurs game tonight? Let us know in the chat. But yeah, anything else really that you want to speak about on the Klopp thing?
Not really, just to say, he's a top manager. We don't want to go too far with the thing, but it's good news for City, I think. I don't mean to sound like a Liverpool fan when they make it all about them, but I think it is good news for City that Klopp's going. And that was one of my immediate thoughts was, that's, nice, because he's a top manager and that helps us that he's off.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. I think it's fair to say, you have to say it, that if without Klopp, they're a lot weaker. If you take Salah out of the equation as well, which is possible, then of course they're going to be a hell of a lot weaker. So yeah, it is good for Manchester City, because then what you got to do as well, you got to look at, well, who is our title rivals? Arsenal. Well, not being funny, but they have proved that so far in the last 2 years that they are just a bunch of bottle jobs. Now that's up to them as a club to address, with signings and getting that winning mentality into the team. And maybe they could get that, and maybe they can become a proper threat. But if they don't, and they just keep on bottling it like they have done for the last 2 years, then you've got to look at this, especially if we keep Pep and avoid the 115 charges. City could go on and dominate this league for a number of years, even more so than we already have done. So it's interesting. Certainly interesting situation on the Klopp thing. And of course, I'm sure we'll get a lot more news about his future. At the moment, he's sort of saying that he's not going to take a managerial job straight away. So I do think he's going to at least wait a year. And then it's about, where's he go? Does he go to Bayern? Well, that means they've got to keep Tuchel for another year. I don't think they want to do that. So, yeah, certainly interesting.
Yeah, it's huge.
Okay, let's turn our attention then to tonight's game, Tone. Are Manchester City going to score a goal against Tottenham Hotspur at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium?
I knew you were going to ask me that straight off the bat. As soon as you started saying, yeah, we will. And we're going to score more than one as well. I think we'll win 3-2. I think we'll get a nice early one, first 20. And I know I'm going to regret saying that. And as soon as it's 21 minutes, I'll get a load of crap on Twitter. You said... I think we'll win. I think it'll be a fairly high-scoring game. But yeah, I think we'll score. How about you?
Yeah, I actually think we're going to win. I'm going to go one further than you. I think we're going to win the game. I think that. Listen, I think that Ange probably helps us a little bit in the sense that, he plays a brand of football which we're probably more able to beat than what we've seen in recent years with Conte and Mourinho, which was very much sit back, absorb pressure, get us on the break. Now, ironically, that's how they kind of got us with the first goal with Son, because we was pressing them. I think we had a corner or a free kick or something, and then they got us on the break and whatnot. But if you think back to the 3-3 game, we should have won that game, man. We should have won that game. We was in control of the football match, but unfortunately, sloppy mistakes and failure to kill off the team meant that we ended up drawing. The XG, I know some of you don't like XG, but the XG stats were massively in our favour. Possession stats massively in our favour. And people will say, oh, yeah, we don't score there. We also make too many mistakes against Tottenham. We also make far too many mistakes. In the game in the 3-3, we made at least one mistake. In the game last year, Rodri passed the ball to the edge of the box. If you think in the 3-2 game where Harry Kane scored in the last minute, João Cancelo just run in and try to intercept a ball, which he really shouldn't have done. We make too many defensive. People will focus on the attacking side of our game and the fact that we don't score. We also need to make sure we're defending properly, defending as a team, because, they've got a few players out. Of course, I know Maddison is back, which is disappointing, obviously, for us, because he's a fantastic player. But as Elder says, no Basuma, Sarr or Son. That's a lot. It's a lot of their team that is out. So, we've got to be confident. We've got to believe that we can go there and, first of all, score a goal. But we've got to defend properly. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we tend to get caught on the counter all the time, which is good that Son's missing, but they still have good players. They've still got Werner is not particularly good, but his pace is a concern.
Yeah.
Fortunately, when he's in position, he'll probably miss anyway, but he's definitely a concern. Richarlison, not so much, I guess, in terms of pace. I mean, you're right, we do have to defend better, and we have been sketchy this season at the back. We are starting to settle down a little bit, and Diaz, I keep hearing Diaz has got rid of his girlfriend or something, so now we're going to get prime Diaz back. So we'll see tonight how prime. if he puts in a 10 out of 10, then we know that hands up, those people are right. But John Stones is back. I don't know if he'll start. Probably not.
Probably not.
No, I wouldn't have thought so. So we do have to defend better. But the problem is when we concede 2 or 3 goals, everyone goes to defence, to back four, Akanji, throw names out. It's defending right from the front. Midfielders is much to blame as anybody. And if people aren't tracking their man, there's a winger who certainly isn't so fussed on running back as he is forward, and you don't do it as a collective unit, then we'll be in trouble. But I think Kovacic could be quite key tonight in midfield if he starts.
Yeah. No, just to keep the ball. No, I agree. I think you're right. Probably right. We're not defending from the front properly, but the goals are too many individual errors. And whilst you can look at it and say, well, if he would have tracked back, if he would have done that bit better, like there have been errors. And Ruben Diaz this year is, I think, actually got off lightly from a lot of City fans because he's one of our favourites, right? So yes. I do feel that. Not just City, but every fan base, we have favourites, and when our favourites aren't really performing that great, we try and protect them. But I think Ruben Diaz has been poor this year. I call it out. I think he's been poor. He's had a few good games recently, and of course now he's dumped his girlfriend. People are saying prime Diaz is back. Let's see what happens. But we need Diaz at his best. We do need him at his best. You know what I mean? Now there were signs against Newcastle that he was getting better. You know what I mean? I think I gave him a 7 out of 10 on the player ratings. By the way, people tried to cut me on that. Someone put like a Diaz compilation of his game up against Newcastle and put LB said he was crap. I give him a 7 out of 10. When is a 7 out of 10 a crap performance, man?
Mate, honestly, I've said, for example, one week, I think where Grealish was really good, and I said, and Doku was okay. Crikey, did I get some stick? You're saying Doku's crap. You're saying he's fit, he's off, and all this. I've said he's played fine. Just Grealish that day was better. So yeah, I know where you're coming from with that.
But yeah, no, listen, I need Diaz to get back to his best, man. And by the way, when I'm talking about his best, I'm not talking about be good. Because I'm talking about Ruben Diaz, because when he's on his game, for me, he's one of the best defenders, if not the best defender in the world. I put him into that conversation. So you've got to hold him to high standards. You know what I mean? If he drops a 7 out of 10, which is a good performance, you can still say he can get better. Because ultimately, I want my players to be the best players in the world. You know what I mean? And, I want to put them in the best player in that sort of position in the world. You can only do that by saying, you've got to call it out when they're not quite performing. But listen, he played well against Newcastle, I think. So it'll be interesting to see how he gets on. But I want to get into a starting 11 tone for tonight. Yeah. Do we think Ortega's going to start? Obviously, he does normally like playing Ortega in cup games.
Yeah, I'm grinning here, by the way, because I've done an 11 and I know I'm going to choose a different one here and someone's going to go, hang on a minute. So, Ortega will start, mate. Yeah, it's cup game. He's quality anyway. It's not a massive. Yeah. I'd rather Edison, but it's not a massive drop-off. Ortega.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Ortega in. Akanji, I don't know if you've got any updates on Akanji, Tone. What's going on with him? Like, that injury was a bit of a weird one. Obviously, it wasn't a great tackle, but I thought, it's a bit of a knock. Maybe he'll be back in a week, but it seems like it's a bit more serious than maybe we all thought at the time. Because as well, remember, he come back on the pitch, didn't he? Yeah, he got injured and then come back on and then went off. So what's going on?
Last I heard was mid-February, so he should be out another few weeks at least. I suspect. Hopefully, he returns sooner, but it sounds like he'll be out. I think Pep said February as well recently, so I think around mid-Feb. which,
Okay.
to be honest, I thought he'd be out longer when I first saw it because his knee buckled and that's not good. But yeah, we'll see.
Okay, right back. Are we going Rico Lewis? Are we going Matthias Nunes? Are we going Kyle Walker? What do you reckon at right back position?
Walker, Karl Walker, right back. It spurs his pace.
Yeah, no, that's actually a great idea, and we'll come on to tactics in a minute. But surely, with the pace that they have on the break, with Timo Werner, especially because Timo Werner will probably play off the left, surely you're playing Walker in a more defensive position rather than up here. But we'll discuss that as we go on. John Stones is back. He is in the squad for tonight's game, but surely it's a risk to start him. So I wouldn't be starting him in this game personally.
No, I'm with you. I don't think John will start. John Stones, sorry, will start. I don't know him on first name terms. I don't think Stones will start. Too soon. He probably will Wednesday, but not today.
Ruben Diaz and are we saying Ake?
Yeah, I remember us discussing this last time. Diaz and Ake at the back. I know people say, "Oh, Guardiola should be there. Ake's better at left." If I'm going by what I think Pep goes with, I think it's that you've put up.
Yeah. No, I think most people agree, and probably most people in the chat agree that we'd rather Ake be that left back, but Guardiola gives us something, which is the ability to hold the ball up high up the pitch, up here, and play balls into sort of this region here, into sort of your Phil Foden, who then spin on it and go in behind there. We've seen him do that time and time again. That's the reason he plays him there. But from a purely defensive point of view, I would rather Ake left back than Guardiola, but that's fine. Pretty solid back four there. Pretty happy with that.
Good. Yeah.
Calvin Phillips has gone on loan, so we have no cover for Rodri. Not that really mattered anyway. Rodri is going to start in this game.
Rodri, 100%. Yeah, and as long as he's fit, which he was training, so he should be. Yeah.
Okay, midfield. So this is where we have a few options now because, of course, De Bruyne, Bernardo Silva, Nunes, Kovacic, Foden. Even Doku was kind of playing in midfield in the last match, wasn't he? He kept on inverting. Yeah. So what are we saying in the midfield, man?
That's a good question, this. I'm going to say De Bruyne won't start. I still think he'll get another half an hour today, and he'll be another one that starts on Wednesday like Stones. So I think just in front of Rodri there, we'll have Foden and Kovacic.
Foden and Kovacic?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Kovacic will probably play off of the left, I think.
Yeah, I hope KDB plays. Don't get me wrong. I want De Bruyne to play, but
you would start him. You would start him if it was you.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, if it's my team, then I would start him ahead of. Because I was going to put Bernardo out on the right. If you want my one, I'd put De Bruyne out on the right there.
What, on right wing?
Yeah. It's the options, mate. It's just throwing me completely. And people say we need 3 or 4 more players. It's balmy. Yeah. Oh no, yeah. All
right, we'll come back to that. We'll come back to that. Let's get the predicted 11 in, and then we'll come back to the KDB thing because I can see the chat as well. I've got some views on that, so I'll come back to some of the chat's comments in a minute. Get your views coming in, chat. Get your comments in. If you're watching this back on replay, get your thoughts in down below. Make sure you smash the like on the stream as well, by the way, if you've not done so already. We've got over 250 people tuned in here, guys. Let's get the likes up, man. We're on how many likes we got here? 118 likes. Let's get those likes up.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Wingers. Does Doku play? Does Grealish play? This is another interesting one, chat. What are you guys saying in the chat, bro? Grealish or Doku? What are we having?
Grealish or Doku? I think it will be tonight, Grealish. Okay. Tough game, away from home. Keep possession. I'll go Grealish. Keep looking at that. I keep looking at that right side. I still don't bloody know. Let's put Bernardo out on the right there, mate.
Okay.
This is what I think will start tonight, and then Alvarez up top. I think
you want Alvarez up top. Okay, so that's what your predict. That's not the 11 that you'd start. That's your predicted 11. Yeah. I've got. I disagree. I think there's one player who will play tonight who's not on this pitch.
Oh, okay.
This man.
Doku, is it? Yeah. A few people have said Oscar Bob. Yeah.
Yeah, I think Oscar Bob starts tonight. I think. Pep clearly loves him. We've heard from Pep Guardiola in the past that he was very close to starting him against who was it in the Premier League, but he then started Grealish. He come off the bench, got the winner. I think Oscar Bob starts tonight. Now I don't know where he starts. I don't know if he starts on the right or the left. Maybe he gives Bernardo a rest. Maybe he puts Bernardo in the middle for Kovacic, because Bernardo can do the Kovacic role, if we're being honest with you as well.
Yeah.
I think Bob starts. I'm going to say Pep Guardiola starts Bob right wing, right?
Yeah.
And I think I don't think he starts. I don't think he starts KDB. I'm with you. I would start KDB if it was me, but I don't think he does. I would play. I'd do that. I think that's what he could do. I think you might see Rodri, Bernardo, Foden in the middle. I think that's going to be my predicted 11.
Yes, and it's brilliant. Yeah, it's terrific. I mean, whatever the options are, that's why we're a bit sort of stumbling a bit, because the options are there. You know, it's not obvious what this team's going to be. They could 3 of that 4 across the mid there may not start easy. 3, in fact, it wouldn't overly surprise if none of the 4 did, and he threw Nunes, Kovacic, and Doku, and everybody else in. It's brilliant options.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, absolutely. Haaland is fit. We've seen him train. Do we think he's in the squad? Do we think he's going to be on the bench? What do you reckon is going to happen with Erling Haaland, man?
He could be in the squad. Pep said yesterday he's not going to play, so he may come along for the jolly, but I don't think he'll be playing any part. I think he is the same as Stones and De Bruyne. I think he'll start on Wednesday as well. He is pretty much there, but they're not going to take any risks with his injury. But he's back.
Yeah, no, absolutely as well, because Erling Haaland's injury is from overplaying. If you actually Google it, the fracture thing that he had in his foot is from overworking. So they're going to have to be really, really careful on him. And of course, he did have a setback as well. We believe that he come back to training and then he had to step back out again because it got worse. So we're going to have to manage his minutes well. I would start Kevin De Bruyne today. I think he's able to start. I give him 60 minutes, but I'm not against starting him on the bench, bringing him on. But because for me, he's got to start the Burnley game. That Burnley game is at home. It's a final Premier League game. We need to win all our Premier League games because we're behind Liverpool and they're going to be kicking on. I'd love to see Erling Haaland and KDB start that Burnley game. I think that would be great. But for tonight, maybe it's wise not to start KDB and bring him off the bench again. Yeah,
no, I agree. I'd love to see him start, but I just don't see him doing it. If he does, he'll last. Well, not last, because that sounds like he's gone down, but he'll be on an hour. If he does start, I don't see him doing 90. Although Pep did say yesterday, and I don't know, people are saying in the comments that he could do 90. So you never know. But definitely they won't risk him. Certainly, FA Cup's important, but it's not the Premier League.
Yeah, now I spoke a little bit earlier on about the fact that Walker, especially against the pace of Spurs, we're not really going to be wanting to see him bombing forward down here. So in terms of a shape, could we see something a little bit like we've seen in the Luton Town game, where Grealish plays a little bit further inverted than he normally does? Gvardiol pushes forward really like a left winger, and then we go back to sort of a back 3 shape. With obviously Rodri, Bernardo, Foden in the middle, and obviously Alvarez was sort of playing as a false 9 in that game rather than a striker. And then you kind of maybe just leave Oscar Bob on here on his own, which might make it a difficult job for Oscar Bob because he'll be isolated. But for me, Tone, I think if Kyle Walker doesn't play in this defensive position, it's just stupid. You cannot have Kyle Walker bombing forward down here when you've got the pace of Timo Werner on the opposition.
I completely agree. It's key that Walker is in that role that you've highlighted there. We cannot have him disappearing out on the right. Walker's not played well this season, in my opinion, but he's not deciding to go and sit on the far right. He's being told to do that. There's no way he's just going up there for, I hope he stays back tonight. I completely agree with what you've just put there. That back 3 with Gvardiol push forward. Gvardiol, I've been quite impressed with him going forward.
Me too.
I think he's been, it's lovely on the ball. He's still raw in some areas. We can see that, and he's in a new position. But I like him in that position you've got up there now, further forward, and I'd much rather have him further forward than Walker. I'm literally so confused when I hear people say Gvardiol's been poor this year. I'm like, I must be watching different games, man. Because, I think he's been fine. I think he's been fine. He's been good.
He holds the ball up well. He defended well at times. I don't think he had a particularly great game in the Chelsea match, but nor did any of our defence bar Akanji, nor did any of our midfield. the only actual time that I've really been disappointed with him outside of that was Luton when he didn't close the cross down. Other than that, I think he's been fine. I really don't get why people have been on his case.
No, I don't. I do not get it. He's top draw. I was calling Rolls Royce, and loads of people do. He's quite. You can see his quality. He's still young. He's only just turned 22, I think. So he's still learning. But that's not to say he's been poor in learning. He's been good. I don't think he's been great. And wow, look at this player. But he's been good, and you can see the ability he's got. Top player.
Yeah. No. Absolutely. Absolutely. Spurs then. What do you think their main threats are going to be? Of course, we already know that Basuma, Sarr, and Son are out at their respective tournaments. It sounds like Maddison is going to be available to start the game, which is disappointing because obviously he's such a fantastic player. What do you make of Spurs under Ange? Because I think they're a good team, man. I think they play some good football. But as I said at the start of this stream, I think that the way they play probably means that we've got a better chance of beating them than we did under Conte and Mourinho.
Yes, I completely agree. Yeah, the way he plays, is open, attractive, nice, pass, which is sort of similar, maybe not to that degree, but Eddie Howe always used to do it with Bournemouth. I'm not saying Bournemouth for Spurs and so on, but it always reminds me of that, where Eddie Howe used to come up against us and go, well, yeah, let's try and play. Obviously, Spurs have got far better players to play that way, but it will suit us most definitely more than if it's Conte or Mourinho or someone like that who just sit everybody back. It's dull as dishwater. But like you said just then, I think Spurs look good. I like Ange. He could be, if he does well with Spurs, he's certainly someone who could be in the frame for if Pep goes, or for when Pep goes. And I've been really impressed with Spurs. They've also bought well. Like, I hadn't even really heard of the keeper before until they bought him, a Vicario, is it? And he's quality. They bought him. They bought Porro. Can't defend for anything, but he looks okay going forward. And I was just Brennan Johnson, don't know about, but they have bought well. Certainly that new centre back Van der Ven, I think his name is. He's really looks pretty good. So. Yeah, I've been fairly impressed with Spurs. They've got a chance at the top four for sure. Absolutely sure.
Yeah, they've got this Radu Dragusin as well at the back that they've just signed for 25 million euros. I don't know much about him, to be honest with you. I've never seen him play, but only young, 21 years old. But yeah, I think Maddison's been in training 3 days. So I don't know, man. Do you reckon he might? Surely he's not going to start him after 3 days in training. That's a bit of a risk.
Yeah, I doubt it. I think he could be similar to De Bruyne, come on for half an hour. Well, De Bruyne will be probably more ready to go now. But Matt, I don't see. I know he said, he could start. He's doing what Pep does. Pep says that, and then he'll be on the bench. So yeah, I think he'll be on the bench. Good player though.
Yeah, the problem with Maddison is, the problem for Spurs is if you don't start him and they get beat, that's it. No trophies again.
Very true. Yeah, well, all the pressure. This is where it's good for us because we've won a lot of trophies, been very fortunate enough to win so many. The pressure's off us a little bit this season because of what we've won, and Spurs have got to win some. They're in the financial league. Is it Deloitte or something?
Yeah.
Top 10. I know the new stadium and all this sort of stuff, but they've got to start winning stuff. If you're throwing yourself on, or Deloitte have, on the top table, you've got to start winning.
Yeah, no, exactly. It will be interesting to it will be interesting to see if they it will be interesting to see if he starts because he's only been in training. I don't know if the chat can confirm this, but I googled it. Apparently, he's only been training 2 to 3 days, so that is a little bit of a risk, that, isn't it? You know what I mean? Because if he gets injured again, then that's fucking bad for them, especially with obviously the Asian Cup and the African Cup. They've still got players there. Apparently, he's been there a week though. I'm not sure. It seems like there's a bit of misinformation going around then with how long the guy's actually been in training. If he's been there a week, I'd imagine he'd start. But if it's only 2-3 days, it seems a bit of a risk to me.
Yeah, it's a risk. I don't see him started. Look, we could be wrong, and at 7 o'clock when the teams come out, he's on there. But don't see it. They have enough players, Spurs. They're not in a massive. He's obviously one of their better players, but they're not in a position where, oh my God, he's our best by a mile. He has to play if he's fit. We were saying that with De Bruyne and Haaland and so on last week. We don't rush people back, and I don't see them rushing Maddison back. So he had problems at Leicester as well with injuries.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I'm looking forward to it, man. What's your score prediction?
I'll go 3-2 to us. Yeah, I think 3-2.
Goals.
Goals. I think there will be goals. I think Carl Walker will do something wrong at some point. Sorry, I probably shouldn't say it, but getting on his back, because I'll now get stick for that. But he'll do something at some point that hopefully we get away with. But he'll do something. But we've got goals. We've got goals everywhere. It's a shame Ireland's not fit. De Bruyne comes on or is on. Yeah, there's going to be goals, mate. What about you?
I've gone for a 2-0, which is delusional, really, because I don't know if I can. I'm saying clean sheet. So what am I talking about? Why am I giving City a clean sheet? That's just ridiculous, isn't it? Really, but yeah, I mean, giving a clean sheet when we're playing a quality side like Spurs is delusional.
Yeah,
but it's got to start somewhere, man.
Look, why not tonight? We're all there. We'll all be watching. I fancy it, mate. I fancy it. I'm turning now. I'm tempted to go 3-0 just to sort of do you by one. But no. I think it'll be close call.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I'm looking forward to it, man. Because listen, I've said all season, I don't think we're going to win this competition. I just have a weird feeling that we're not going to win the FA Cup. That maybe Pep will sack it off because we've already won 2 trophies this year, and he'll go for the Premier League and the Champions League. But there's 9,000 City fans going down there tonight. So I doubt he's going to properly rotate the team. It's a great effort. A Friday night, 9,000 fans going down. Wild. But I don't think you can really do that. So I think we'll put out a really strong team. And of course, we don't play for 4 or 5 days anyway. Now we don't play till Wednesday. Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. You got 4 days of rest before you play Burnley at home. Like, you shouldn't really need to rotate your squad that much. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't think he will. And then we're not playing for another 5 days, I think. And we've got Brentford. And then we've got another 5 days till Everton. There is no need to, so there's no need to. And then it ramps up because we've got Copenhagen and then the Brentford rearranged game. So, there they are there. So, just having a little look down. There is no reason to make any changes at all. Big changes. Really, at all. I'm looking at that fixture list. To be fair though, when you say, it should be the first team playing all them games, what's the first team?
Yeah, what is the first team? Yeah, we don't really have a first team. As a first team, it's just the players, isn't it? So
it's 20 squad players. Terrific. I mean, the bench is insane when we get when Akanji comes back. It's crazy, absolutely crazy bench.
Yeah, no, facts. Right, guys, we're going to approach the Q&A section of the stream. If any of you guys have got any questions about tonight's match, about Klopp, about any of the other fixtures in the FA Cup, about anything, right? Yeah. That doesn't make me reveal my address or whatever, then fire them in the chat and we will go through them. But I'm just looking at the fixtures. Why have they put Aston Villa v Chelsea on tonight at the same time as City versus Spurs?
I'll tell you why. Because I was looking at this, I was getting wound up by it yesterday. It's because they're desperate to show. Liverpool have got someone, haven't they, at home? Is it Norwich? No.
Some dead team. Respectfully, some team in like the lower leagues.
Yeah, and United have got Eastleigh. Now I get, or is it Eastleigh that went through, or whoever it is, Newport maybe.
Newport is, yeah.
Newport. So United, I get why that game's on, and it's great for Newport because of the money and so on. No problem with that. But you're quite right. Chelsea Villa should be on the telly, certainly above a Liverpool. If someone will correct me if I'm wrong, a Liverpool home game in the FA Cup. That they're going to win 4 or 5-0. Klopp's going to be, especially after today, we're going to hear all about it for bloody weeks. And I'm completely with you. That should be on telly.
Yeah, strange. Let's have what you guys are saying then. Any news on Paqueta? Says 1998 LB. No, he's injured at the moment, isn't he? But I still think City will go in for, providing he gets cleared. I think City are going back in for him in the summertime.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Apparently they are still interested, but the Kimmich one's the interesting one because that'd be madness if they got both, and I don't see that. But City, per reports, are still interested in him, and he's a top player, 85 million. Release clause.
And if Phillips goes the other way, maybe it could be a deal that because obviously I imagine that West Ham probably know they're going to lose the player this year anyway. That maybe they could get a player in return plus cash could work out well for them.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you could get. I think we'll probably end up around 30 for Phillips if he impresses. That's what I was saying this week. I hope he goes to West Ham and has an absolute blinder, plays well every game, man of the match a few times, because then West Ham will say, right, we'll pay 30 odd for him, knock that off the Paquetá or whatever he's got, knock it off his fee. Deal to be done there, isn't it? It's obvious. If we don't pay 85 for him, someone else will, without doubt, because he's top drawn. It sounds ridiculous. Yeah, sorry, mate.
Yeah, no, I'm just agreeing. I think he's a class player, man. I think he'd work wonders at City under Pep as well. I think I just think he suits our style. He suits our style to a team, man.
Oh, he's top class. So, yeah, I hope we get him. And the talk is that they are still interested, but nothing will happen while that betting stuff's going on. But a couple of West Ham fans told me they think February, March, that's getting resolved. So hopefully we'll know shortly.
Okay. Satwick says, how much do you think Pep played a part in Klopp's departure?
Yeah, that's a good question. Well, according to my tweets that I sent out, a lot, but that's more to wind up the Liverpool fans, which I've had a few getting wound up by that one. No, I mean, I've seen some people saying Klopp's, and I think I was one on the wind up, saying, oh, Klopp's found out City aren't getting done in this investigation, so he's bottled it and walked. Realistically, no. I think he looks tired and sounds tired from what he was saying today, and I just think it's a personal decision thing. To be honest,
I agree.
But do wind Liverpool fans up. Do get on it.
AK City Tie says, will Haaland be subbed on in the second half of the game?
No. Pep said yesterday he's not ready. So, hey, look, I want him to as much as you guys, but from what Pep said, no. Unfortunately.
Kimmich, Musiala, Paquetá news. Also more from Khaldoon on the charges. Lord Payne. Oh, Lord Payne. Who's Lord Payne?
I don't know.
Is that one of the solicitors?
Who's that, sorry?
Is that one of the solicitors, maybe? Lord Payne? I don't know who that is, to be honest with you. I don't know.
No, one of them's called... it's the panic guy, isn't it? Because it's panic in the streets and all that. I don't know. I don't know Lord Payne is, to be honest. So if we got Kimmich, Musiala,
Kimmich, we're hearing news that City are interested in Kimmich, but only for a summer transfer move.
Yeah. Oh, there's no chance. There's more chance of you and I transferring to City than him this January. No way. You watch, he'll break now at 3:00. But no. He's in the summer maybe. The only thing with him is it surprised me how old he was. I mean, he's 28. I don't mean he's old, but for some reason I had him down as 24, 25. But he's an unbelievable player. So, yes, please. City are interested, and that's come from good sources. So, yeah, all in. But I still say, I just want to say on that, I still stand by that Tuchel will be gone, and he will then stay under the new manager, whoever it is, will come in and go, we arm round him, sign a new deal. Done.
Yeah, probably will. That's why City need to kind of get the deal done with him soon, you know what I mean? And say, like, do you agree to join us in the summer? So he struggles to go back on his word. Mark, who's a Spurs fan, says, LB and Tone, whereas a City fan, do you think Spurs, where's a City fan, do you think the Spurs threat comes from tonight? Big up to you both. Come on, you Spurs, says Mark. I think just Werner on the counter-attack with the pacing behind, man, which is how you've done us in the past, bro. Just same old, pacing behind. We fail to deal with it, and you guys are clinical, which is what happens a lot. So, yeah, I'd say Werner, man, on the counter-attack.
Yep, I completely agree. It's counter. And although saying that Angie's more expansive than that, but yeah, it's the counter. That's what City's weakness is. Everybody knows it. Anyone who plays us knows that. Palace did it a few weeks ago. Sit to a degree and then counter. So, yeah, pace on the break.
Mm-hmm. Wolfie says, how would you rank our four summer signings so far? That's a good question. I'd say Doku 6.5 out of 10. Gvardiol 7.5 out of 10. Kovacic 6 out of 10. Nunes 5.5 out of 10. Only because we've not seen enough of him.
Yeah. Gvardiol. I'm just trying to think. I'd say Kovacic and Gvardiol both 7. Nunes 6, just because we haven't seen enough of him. When we've seen him, he's looked really good in the main. But need to see more of him. Who am I missing there? Doku. Yeah, probably 7 as well. I've been happy with all of them. I don't think any of them have been, oh my lord, but then they don't tend to be, other than Haaland maybe, they don't tend to be under Pep. Bernardo, Rodri, unbelievable 10 out of 10 masterclass players now. First season, some of us were going, well, hang on a minute, what's this guy bringing? And I think all 4 of those will improve. Certainly, Gvardiol, Nunez, Doku, Kovacic is a little bit older than them, but yeah, all top players. Happy with all of them.
Yeah, interesting. Well, Tone, will we score tonight? That's the big question. We'll find out. The game kicks off at 8 p.m. UK time. I'll be doing a live watch along, by the way, guys, starting at 7, bringing you all the team news reaction. It's a bit weird game on a Friday. I never really know how to feel about them. Like, they're strange, aren't they? So, yeah, I'm looking forward to it, man. It should be a good game, and hopefully City actually score and can win the game and progress. Because if we do, that means Arsenal are out. It means Spurs are out. Chelsea or Villa are going out.
Yeah, good point.
You've only got really Liverpool, Newcastle, and United in there as like your respected sort of top clubs. Obviously, you've got other teams in there that can do damage on the day, but it's a great opportunity to win this competition. And listen, I said all season I don't think we're going to win it for some reason. Just something in the back of my head saying we ain't going to win it, but hopefully we can, and hopefully we can get a win tonight. But yeah, are you going to the game, Tone, or are you watching it from home?
Oh, I'll be home. Yeah, I'll be home. I won't be going down there today or down there. But I just want to say we will score in the first 20 minutes. But I do just want to add a little asterisk on that. Is if we score an own goal, that does count because that is a goal. But I think we'll score first 20 minutes, and I'm going to stand by that, and I'll wait for everybody on 21 minutes. So.
Yeah, man. Well, let's see what happens, guys. Again, I'll be live later on, 7 o'clock UK time. This stream is automatically going to redirect you to the watch along. Please go over there and make sure you smash the likes on it rapid so we can get the likes up before we even start the stream tonight. Big up to the guest, Tone. You can find him on Twitter at MCFC Tone. Make sure you go give him a follow. This has been 3 weeks in a row now. I've been live on a Friday, so it's becoming a regular thing. So,
love it, mate.
Yeah, a lot of you guys watching like the video. So if you do, let us know in the comment section below. Give us your thoughts on the show. Make sure you drop a like, subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Big up to LB1998 as well for the super chat. Appreciate it, bro. See you later, guys.
Thanks, guys. Take care.